Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you're doing well, guys, on this Christmas Eve. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Christmas Eve so far. Whoever celebrating, having a nice, peaceful time, guys, without any stress, just with the people you care about. That's all that matters, guys, isn't it? At the end of the day, guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash a like on the video. All that lovely jazz. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, obviously, we are literally under a week from the window opening at Manchester United. Hopefully, bringing some players in, which we need, of course, guys, which we've been banging on about for weeks now, if not months, guys. And guys, look, one of the players that has been probably the most talked about player in my streams, probably if you're thinking about Stretford Post, the one of the most rife, and I think it just goes above Ugarte. I think it's just above Ugarte is Carlos Baleba. Now, apparently, Brighton and Hove Albion are desperate to sell Carlos Baleba. They're desperate to get money for Carlos Baleba, and they have reduced the price for Carlos Baleba to around 50 million euros, guys. 50 million euros. Has this alerted Manchester United? We'll have to wait and see. But 50 million euros is a significantly lower price than was in the summer, of course, when people were talking about 115 million and things like that, and ridiculous amounts of money like that. We remember, isn't it? 150 million. We were like, what the hell are these guys on? What the hell are they talking about? My goodness me, absolute nutcases, of course. But 50 million euros, would you still do the deal? Of course, there's lots of ins and outs about this deal. Obviously, the way that Carlos Baleba has performed has not been up to scratch. Obviously, there is context to that. Obviously, the fact that he is his head has been turned by Man United and he wants a Man United move. Then the other side of the coin, they flip the coin over and say, well, he should always be professional. He should do this and do that. Then you flip the other side of the coin and you say, well, he's only 21. You know what I mean? You got to give him time. You know, he's going to learn and stuff like that. There are so many ins and outs about this deal. It's not an easy deal to do. And it's not easy money to spend. It's not our money. Well, it is our money, so to speak. If you have been spending money at Man United, it is your money. So what I would say is that 50 million, is it a fair price for Carlos Baleba? I'm not too sure at the moment. I would have to wait and see. I mean, if I'm basing it on last season, then absolutely fantastic. That'd be absolutely brilliant. A great deal. Do the business, guys. But right now, obviously, with the situation going on with the performances, etc., obviously, we have to raise some question marks and we have to look at things in a more mature manner. Of course, even though he is our favourite player, we are still Balebas at the end of the day. And he is one of our favourite players. We still have to obviously bring into the fact that, you know, what performance is, the way he's played, professionalism. Of course, all these things have to come into play, guys. All these scenarios, all these situations and all these narratives have to be thought about before we splash out the money on Carlos Baleba. But it is a boost. Carlos Baleba has a 50 million fee on his head, which Man United could quite possibly do a deal in January. Of course, we won't get Carlos Baleba until after the AFCON. Latest probably 21st of January, which is the end of the AFCON. If Cameroon do indeed reach the AFCON final, of course, guys, absolutely. Which I hopefully would be doing a watch along. I will be doing some watch alongs for the African nations, guys. Keep an eye out, of course. I wasn't feeling too well this week. I was all over the place, groggy and everything. I think it's the weather change over here. It's really cold and stuff like that. But Carlos Baleba, Brighton and Hove Albion have reduced the price to 50 million euros, guys. What do you think about that? Do you think that would be a good move for Man United? Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know how you're feeling about that. Of course, now, guys, when we're thinking of a player and we're thinking about controversy, noise, toxicity, a representation of what everything is wrong with Manchester United at the moment, his name is Marcus Rashford. Now, there is a potential swap deal for Marcus Rashford on the table. Now, obviously, Marcus Rashford's at Barcelona. Barcelona have an obligation to buy, but there are rumors Barcelona are not going to take that obligation to buy. In Spain, there's rumors that Barcelona do not want to follow on with the purchase of Marcus Rashford. Now, guys, there you go, guys. This is what we're talking about. Marcus Rashford has had a relatively okay period in Barcelona, but it's nothing to write home about. It's nothing like, wow, what a player. You know what I mean? Not in the Barcelona standard sort of thing when you're talking about Barcelona, but Marcus Rashford could be leaving Barcelona, and that could open up a swap deal with PSG for Bradley Barcola. Now, Bradley Barcola is a French international, 20 18 caps for France, 3 goals, 23-year-old left midfielder, right midfielder, centre midfielder. Very, very versatile, very, very skillful, talented, whatever you want to say. He's a product from Lyon. You'll remember him when he was playing for Lyon. Now playing for PSG, of course. Valuation is of around 70 million euros, guys. So what does that mean in regards to Marcus Rashford? Now, if this Marcus Rashford deal does fall through with Barcelona, he will be coming back to Manchester United in the summer. So Manchester United need to use Marcus Rashford as ammunition, sort of it, to use it in our advantage, so to speak, and use him as a swap deal. PSG are huge admirers of Marcus Rashford. They've been huge admirers for a very, very long time now in regards to Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, of course, burst onto the scene at PSG. Do you remember at PSG when he scored that goal? We won 3-1, knocked PSG at the Champions League. I think that's still fresh in their mind, to be honest with you. We have beaten PSG quite a lot of times, and they're actually one of our favourite teams in these days. But a swap deal for Bradley Barcola and Marcus Rashford, you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. I wouldn't say no. I mean, look, guys, look, at the end of the day, we're not going to get any money for Marcus Rashford. Why don't we do things like this? Why don't we use Marcus Rashford in our advantage and try and swap him and bring in a player like the quality of Bradley Barcola, you know, which I feel will be not a bad thing. It won't be a bad thing. It won't be an end of the world. 23-year-old talented player, 18 caps for France, 3 goals, playing left midfield, right midfield, and centre forward. Why not, guys? I think it will be a good move, in my opinion. Let me know what your feelings are, of course, guys. Now, you may have seen last week, 2 weeks ago, around that time, I mentioned Alex Scott of Bournemouth. Now, Alex Scott is Manchester United's radar. We are huge admirers of Alex Scott. We have been for a while, ever since he was at Bristol City. Man United have been interested in Alex Scott. Alex Scott is a 22-year-old England international, of course, was in the England squad. Is a centre midfielder, right midfielder, and attacking midfielder. So what do I say about that? I'll say, well, he's a number 8 probably, isn't he? Alex Scott has really captured the attention of Manchester United over the last couple of years, and Man United are incredibly interested in Alex Scott. And the key with Alex Scott is that, you know, he could come in January. He could be a January signing. And this is a benefit to Manchester United. Should Manchester United do a deal for Alex Scott? I mean, I would say that there are other midfielders, central midfielders that Man United could look at who I feel might be a little bit better. But when you're looking at Alex Scott, what he's doing at the moment, 30 million euros, guys. 30 million euros. A bargain. You would say a bargain, to be honest with you. Centre midfielder, right midfielder, attacking midfielder, can play in various positions. Only 22 years old, guys. Very, very intelligent, very, very talented and prosperous player, of course, guys, playing for Bournemouth at the moment. And obviously that equates to Premier League experience, of course, guys. So that is something that we should be looking at, of course. These type of deals, I don't mind these type of deals. I think these type of deals are good for Man United. I think these type of deals will be prosperous for Man United, in my opinion. Only 30 million euros, guys. You know what I mean? You're looking at that and you think, yeah, why not do the deal at the end of the day, guys? That'd be absolutely fantastic if Man United could pull it off. There's lots of news about Tyler Adams and Alex Scott, of course. There's also lots of news about, obviously, Semenyo at Bournemouth as well. Of course, which Semenyo has obviously chosen Manchester City. Now, guys, I know there's a lot of talk about this, but in regards to Semenyo, I think Man United just need to move on now. Just forget about it and just move on and just see what we can get in our squad and fix that midfield that we've been trying to fix for a long time, of course, guys. You know, it's disappointing what happened to Semenyo, especially if Man United wanted Semenyo. That is embarrassing for Man United, to be honest with you. If they wanted Semenyo and they didn't get Semenyo, it is a little bit embarrassing on our side in regards to that. Pride has been hit a little bit, especially the fact that he might be going to Manchester City, of course, guys, which is you're being totally honest, guys, absolutely. Scott to Manchester United in January is a possibility, of course, just like Carlos Baleba is now, guys. When you're thinking about Man United and the problems at Man United, the squad is very weak and the squad is very thin. We're looking at the striker position. Man United have one striker, and that striker is Benjamin Sesko. Now, there's a lot of pressure on Benjamin Sesko to do the goods, to pull up trumps. He's still very young, of course, 22 years old, 23 years old, very young striker coming into Man United in another league, another country, expected to bang goals in. I actually think he's done all right, to be honest with you. He isn't up to the levels he is yet. He's had an injury as well, which people have to take into account as well. And I think that he's been thrown under the bus a little bit. But Man United are looking to shore up the attacking area in regards to the striker position. And the player we are in question is Lorenzo Lucca. Now, according to Italian press over here in Italy, Lorenzo Lucca has gained the attention of Manchester United as he is on a free transfer in 2026. Now, this may not help Man United right now, but what Man United can do in January, if Man United wanted to, Lorenzo Lucca has a 25 million euro release clause, and Man United can obviously offer a little bit less than that, considering his price and considering his contract expires at the end of the season. So Lorenzo Lucca, 25 years old, 5 caps for Italy, on loan at Napoli at the moment from Udinese. His contract expires in 2026. 25 million valuation, guys. Very, very interesting one. And a new one, of course, off the block on Stretford Post exclusives, of course, guys. Absolutely. But Lorenzo Lucca from Udinese. Napoli is on loan at the moment. Contract expires 2026. Will Man United make that move? Who knows? Man United do need to bring in a backup striker for Benjamin Sesko. Of course they do, because at the end of the day, I do believe that there's too much pressure on Benjamin Sesko at the moment. I feel like the majority of the fan base are in a very, very vulturous move, if you know what I mean, the mood, if you know what I mean, in regards to attacking players, getting, you know, it's his fault, it's Euro's fault, it's Benjamin Sesko's fault, it's Senny Lemen's fault. Everywhere you go, there's blame, and a lack of accountability as well, guys, absolutely, you know, and it is absolutely crazy. What is going on at Man United at the moment with the toxicity is absolute madness, guys. I would say that 100%, guys. Guys, don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let's get more people in the house. Thank you so much, guys, who joined me today. You're absolute legends, a lot of you, of course, guys. Let's get into some of your comments. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined me today. Big up everyone in the stream. I hope everyone is blessed. I'll go big up Bobby. Merry Christmas to you, my friend, as well. Good to see you, man. Merry Christmas to you. Absolutely. Big up everyone. Season's greetings to everyone. Big up Ellen. Thank you so much. And let me just say this, guys. Thank you, everyone, for your fantastic, unrivaled support over this last year, guys. It's been absolutely fantastic. Big up Bilal. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Around £40 million. Just get him already. Big up Ellen. Big up Ellen, of course. In regards to Carlos Baleba, of course, guys, look, you know, I've said it. I've sort of hold my hands up and I say, do you know what? In regards to Carlos Baleba, just get the deal done. Because I've said it weeks and weeks ago that I can see Carlos Baleba being a Man United player. He's going to be a Man United player. It's pretty evident he's going to be a Man United player. I think that there's more chance than him being a Man United player than not being a Man United player, if you know what I mean. And the eagerness on which Baleba wants to play for Man United, you know what I mean? Just bring him in. Let's see what he can do. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little bit pricey. But I think if we signed him and we signed an Elliot Anderson or someone of that ilk, I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. And I think Man United would be ready next season. I really do. Absolutely. Of course. Bilal, 45 million plus 5 on add-ons, 3 installments. We take him then. It could be something like that, Bilal. It might be a deal like that, of course, where we do installment plans and we pay a little fee and then we get some money in, of course, at the end of the season. And yearly, we start paying yearly installments and stuff like that. Absolutely. On credit, of course, guys. So Man United could quite possibly, just like Bilal said there, Man United can offer 15 million right now. Give Brighton and Hove Albion 15 million. We get Baleba after the AFCON. Baleba comes to Man United and we pay, obviously, in installments and stuff like that. But what we have to remember is that we have to remember that next summer, when next summer comes along, this money that Man United owe does go on the FFP and the PSR. Even though we got it in installments, it still does go on the FFP and PSR, and we have to be wary of that, of course. Alex, big up, Alex. Do we still have Stila Anderson? Oh, you mean that Angelo Stila? Stila Anderson and Gallagher on the table. We just going to settle with Carlos. Man United is still very interested in Elliot Anderson, and this is something that I brought into the show this morning about Man United doing the groundwork for Elliot Anderson. Man United have to do the groundwork for Elliot Anderson because the World Cup is around the corner. Of course, if Elliot Anderson has a fantastic World Cup, and it does look likely he's going to the World Cup, we've seen how he performs for England. If Elliot Anderson goes to the World Cup and he has an astronomical World Cup and England do very well, guys, then obviously his price is going to increase significantly. So I did say in this morning that Man United, about Man United doing the groundwork in regards to Elliot Anderson. And this is not in the realms of impossibility. Man United could do the groundwork in regards to Anderson. Man United could have a gentleman's agreement. Man United could put a down deposit on Elliot Anderson to sign in the summer. It does look very unlikely that Elliot Anderson will sign in January, that he will leave Nottingham Forest in January. Nottingham Forest do not want to do business in January. Of course, Nottingham Forest are in a relegation battle, of course, and they're also, guys, they're also in Europe. As we know, they're also in Europe. So Man United are looking, Nottingham Forest are looking to keep him to the end of the season. If Man United were to entice and attract Nottingham Forest to sell Elliot Anderson, Man United would have to offer an astronomical amount of money, which Man United are not going to do, as we know they're not going to do, of course, guys. But in regards to Elliot Anderson, look, he's going to be sought after by a number of clubs around the world. This is why I'm saying that Man United could quite possibly do some groundwork in January and try and get something agreed before the World Cup. But then again, you look at it and you think about it, and this is a very complicated situation at the moment because you think about it and you look at Nottingham Forest. They're not stupid. They know that the World Cup is coming along. They know they can quite possibly get a lot more money for him. So this is where this is where the whole, back and forth comes along in regards to the transfer and stuff like that. And it does become a little bit annoying because obviously we want to sign him. We should have got the deal done a long time ago in regards to a gentleman's agreement or something like that. But yeah, the World Cup is coming, so maybe Nottingham Forest might want to bide their time and wait a little bit. And this is exactly the situation with Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton has already said to Crystal Palace that he wants to wait until the end of the season. He's given them a gentleman's agreement that he will not leave in January and he'll wait till the end of the season. Of course, the World Cup is coming on. And if he has a good World Cup, now you're looking at Elliot Anderson and you're looking at Adam Wharton and you're looking at them. If they have a really good World Cup, then you know that the price is going to be, significantly more, isn't it, at the end of the day? In regards to Carlos Baleba, the thing with Carlos Baleba, and this is something that I mentioned earlier in the short video as well, in regards to Carlos Baleba, we have to be very, very careful as well. Because we don't want to be just signing players because they want to sign for Man United, because they're easier to sign for Man United. And obviously, I brought in a situation with Conor Gallagher and I brought in a situation with Ruben Neves. Are we going to sign these players because they're easier to get, because they really want to sign for Man United? Or are we going to sign players based on, they're good enough? And that is the most important thing. Are they good enough to play for Man United? Are they sought after by other football clubs around Europe? Just like I said, Said El Mala is one of the players I spoke about. Ayub Bouyudi is another player I spoke about this morning. Of course, Keith Smith, another player I spoke about this morning, who are admired by many players around, many teams around Europe, including Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea. You know what I mean? And so are we just going to settle? Or are we going to go for what is going to be difficult to get? It is dangerous when you settle. When you're looking at Carlos Baleba, of course, only a year and a half ago, Carlos Baleba was sought after by Liverpool. He was wanted by a number of football clubs. But obviously, football clubs aren't stupid. They're looking at Carlos Baleba at the moment. They're looking at his performances over this last year and thinking over this last 6 months or so. And they're looking at it and thinking, are we going to do that deal? Does it represent a risk? Should we do that deal or not? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Hi, big up my friend. Big up Christian. How you doing? Hi Sal. Did we play well? I don't know what you mean by that. Against Aston Villa, we played very well, in my opinion. Just unlucky. Snap him up, €50 million bargain. Absolutely, Benny. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, Man United have got to be smart. Man United have got to be shrewd. Man United have got to be intelligent when it comes to the transfer window at the moment, because obviously we ain't got much money to play around with. If we qualify for the Champions League, big if, of course, guys, Man United will have a huge cash boost, which will obviously go towards the squad, we hope at least. And obviously this will in turn attract players to come to Man United, because when we're not in Europe, players don't really want to come to Man United. That is understandable when there are other teams out there that are more attractive. Despite some players being Man United fans, I don't think that really counts anymore. I don't think people have that kind of loyalty with their football clubs anymore. I think the culture has changed in regards to supporting your football club. I think people are much more inclined to look at it based on their own agenda rather than looking at the football club that they love, supposedly, and stuff like that. So what I would say is that look, 40 million euros, 50 million euros. I think it's a bargain. If he really wants to sign for Man United, and Man United still admire him, and then just go and do the deal. And that's what I would say. Get him through the door. Let's shut this Carlos Baleba rumours to bed. Just pull it to bed. And we'd never talk about Carlos Baleba again about signing for Man United. The only way we would talk about him is when he's playing for Man United, of course. Alex, can't we just amortize everything and then probably get more than one player? Yeah, big up. I don't know what you quite mean by that, but big up, Alex. I mean, play. If we do take Rashford back, aren't we just going to let him rot on the bench? No, I've spoken about that. Man United are going to try and use Marcus Rashford to their advantage, so to speak. They're going to try and use Marcus Rashford to bring in another player. It could quite possibly be a swap deal. Now, I could have envisioned this. I could have envisioned the fact that Barcelona wouldn't sign Marcus Rashford. I thought about this, and when he signed for Barcelona are incredibly stingy. Right. And this obviously turns into now, again, what I'm going to talk about now is Rasmus Højlund. Of course, there was that silly little Instagram post from Rasmus Højlund. Totally unnecessary, by the way, when you're still an employee, technically, of Man United. Because Napoli have come out and said that they have financial problems and they may not be able to do a deal for Rasmus Højlund. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is the mess that Man United are in right now. So obviously, if this does happen and Rasmus Højlund or Marcus Rashford do come back to Man United, obviously what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to find out ways to work with it. Can we swap Marcus Rashford with a Bacola, like I said earlier? Can we swap a Rasmus Højlund with another player, for example? Do you know what I mean? And can we do that? Do you know, and can that be a possibility? Look, when the world gives you lemons, make lemonade at the end of the day, guys. Sorry, though, just my wife just went past there. Sorry, guys. But look, when the world gives you lemons, make lemonade, guys. That's what I would say about that. Absolutely. Christian, we did create enough chances to win the game against Villa, so we could do well without Bruno, although we will miss him. Look, guys, at the end of the day, I'm going to go through some of Ruben Amorim's comments in the press conference in just a minute. Very interesting press conference, of course, what he said about Bruno Fernandes and stuff like that. But Sal, will Bacola will be willing to play in that left wing back position? I mean, if he does, it's bloody brilliant for us. I hope so. He is a very versatile player, Bilal, and he plays in various positions at his current club, PSG. So why not play at Man United as a winger? Now, I know that a lot of players and there's a lot of noise about the wing back position. It's not actually a wing back. We actually play two wingers and the back three split to make wing backs, you know what I mean? To make fullbacks. And people just obviously want to beat Ruben Amorim with this old stick. It's a bit like saying to me, over this last 24 hours about Semenyo changing the system. Ruben Amorim said he wouldn't change the system for the Pope, right? He said he wouldn't change the system for the Pope. People are using that like, you know what? He's never going to change his system. You know what? He's never going to change. He's stuck in his ways. He means nobody is going to force him to change his system. He would do it at his own accord, at his own free will. Right? He said it's my duty, it's my responsibility. It's exactly what he said. And this is what we're talking about, these media outlets, the social media, the content creators and that, who are against Ruben Amorim, they just want to bring in every single negative about it. But Ruben Amorim will change his formation based on himself if he wants to change it. And that is fair enough at the end of the day. It is not a left wing back position, a traditional left wing back position. It is actually a winger position, to be honest with you. And I like Bacola. The one thing I like about Bacola, he's not prolific. He's not going to score you 20 goals a season. He's only got three goals for France, of course, in 18 appearances. But he does bring talent. He does bring energy. He does bring skill. And I would say that it wouldn't be the end of the world if Man United did do a swap deal with Rashford to bring in Bacola. I actually think it would be not a bad deal at the end of the day. PSG makes sense. You know what I can say, Bobby? Big up, Bobby, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have a lovely Christmas Eve, my friend. What I'm saying is this, right? I've always felt that Marcus Rashford could quite possibly be a PSG player. I don't know where it's come from. But I always felt this energy around PSG and Marcus Rashford, that Marcus Rashford could be a PSG player. He just suits it, doesn't he? I don't know why, guys. Maybe it's Barcelona, the same color kit and the stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely, guys. Big up Bots. Big up my friend. Hope you're doing well. I don't remember Italians doing well at Man United, so I'm not sure about Lucca. You can't paint everyone with the same brush, my friend Bots, fan United. of course, we haven't had many great Italian players play for Man United either. Every single Man United Italian player that Man United have signed have been players that are relatively unknown. You know that. Matteo Darmian, for example. You know, Massimo Taibi, another one, for example. These are Giuseppe Rossi is another one. These were relatively unknown players that played for Man United. We never went after Alexandre Del Piero or Roberto Baggio, or Alessandro Pirlo or anyone like that. We went after the players that were unknown. Can't paint everyone with the same brush. It would be a squad option. He is an Italian international, currently playing for Napoli on loan. It's a free transfer at the end of the season. I don't know, maybe, Matt, but we'll have to wait and see what happens, guys. At the end of the day, big up Kenny, Merry Christmas to you too. So hopefully we get the midfielders in January. Not disappointed with Semenyo going to Man City. I know that KG is very, very disappointed. I've seen KG. He's almost having a fit. Big up KG, by the way, but he is almost having an absolute breakdown in regards to the Semenyo thing. He was a huge admirer of Semenyo, of course. As I said earlier, I said the biggest problem that I have is not the fact that Semenyo is not signing for Man United. I mean, because I actually feel that he was not a priority. And that's what I feel. And I stick by that. I don't think he's a priority at Man United. But my biggest, obviously, concern with it was that if Ineos wanted him, if Jim Ratcliffe wanted him, if Barada and Wilcox wanted him alongside Ruben Amorim, did we miss out on this player to Man City? And have we exposed ourselves? Have we made ourselves look stupid? And that's the thing, because obviously there's a lot of noise going out about Man United and Semenyo, especially this last week. Semenyo's going to sign for Man United. Semenyo this, Semenyo that. All this jazz, of course, guys. Now, it could be a number of things. They could have been using Man United's name to obviously get more money and stuff like that. But on the contrary, because there are journalists out there who are big Manchester journalists who were mentioning this as well. Some very important people were mentioning about Semenyo, Man United, Semenyo, Man United. So we have to take it seriously. And obviously, the fact that he's openly, commercially, in the media, picked Manchester City, it's not good for Manchester United. But this is exactly what we were talking about. A full sale, get the Glazers out, get a new ownership in, because at the end of the day, when you're looking at Man City, you have to hold your hands up and say, Man City, they do business very, very well. They don't mess about. They get their business done well. And you have to be honest with yourselves, and you have to praise them. I have to praise you like I should. Absolutely, you have to praise them. Because at the end of the day, they do business well. They get things done, regardless of what we think about them. They're cheaters, we know. But they get it done. They get away with it. At the end of the day, cheat. But if you get away with it, fantastic. You know what I mean? No one really cares other than that. They just look at the stats and they look at the trophies. That's all they do at the end of the day, isn't it? So yeah, they get their business done early. Man United dilling and dallying. Man United take too much time to do deals. Man United take too much time to get things over the line. And that is the biggest problem with Man United. You know what I mean? And obviously the ownership. That's the biggest problem with the ownership. That's the biggest problem with Man United, of course, guys. And that's what I would say about that, of course. Absolutely. Now, I did speak about it earlier about Rasmus Højlund and Napoli. Napoli, of course, guys, right now, I am in Napoli, guys. I'm in Napoli right now. And basically, Napoli have a few financial problems. Conveniently, some may say conveniently, Napoli have a few financial problems going on at the moment. And the deal for Rasmus Højlund to Napoli is not a foregone conclusion. It's not something that could happen. 100%. Now, obviously, it looked that way. Obviously, you saw the tweet from Rasmus Højlund, the little, this is what a great decision looks like. I mean, to be honest with you, why would you do that? Why, Rasmus? People have done nothing but support you. Majority of people have done nothing but support you. Why would you do that? I don't know why anyone would do that. I don't know why these players find it within themselves to do some nonsense like that. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. I would say, of course, guys, but it is an interesting one going forward because Napoli are speaking about financial issues at the moment. Planning ahead, really, isn't it? Planning ahead that they don't really want to sign Rasmus Højlund. It could be that one. I think he's done very well. Thank you so much. Same, my guy. Same to you. Season's greetings to you, my friend. Season's greetings. I hope you're doing well. Wish we get a young midfielder, left winger from Santa. You know what I mean? Maybe, just maybe, we can get a new player. You know what I mean? There's a new player called Santa, and he's got a clause. He's got a clause in his contract. Santa Claus. That would be a good little thumbnail title, isn't it? Don't you copy that thumbnail title. Don't you copy that thumbnail title. Santa Claus. If only we were after a player called Santa and he has a release clause. That would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? We can have a Santa Claus. I can have a Santa Claus thumbnail, for crying out loud. That would be brilliant. It's not going to happen though, innit? I should look at players called Santa. Players called Santa. Man United are linked to a player called Santa and he has a release clause. I'll probably find a player who plays in the Brazilian third division or something. You know what I mean? And, we're after that player. Yeah, he's 36, but you know what? He's got a release clause and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Hey, big up, Marky Mark. How you doing, my friend? Season's greetings to you, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Community, how are you, my friend? Very well. Thank you. Good to see you. How are you? Hope you're well, brother. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too and your family and community. Big up, Sal. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're having a great Christmas Eve. I hope you're just enjoying the elements. Turn on the TV, watch a bit of TV, relax with your loved ones and enjoy it, my friend. Absolutely. That is what it's all about, of course. Now, guys, I do actually want to get into some proper Ruben Amorim quotes, of course, guys. Ruben Amorim has been speaking, believe it or not, guys, and he has been speaking about Bruno and the whole shebang. And let me just read out some of his comments, guys. He said, Ruben Amorim on the options in regards to the Newcastle games. He said, no, not for this game. Newcastle, they are recovering. I don't think it will take a lot of time. I think Kobbie will return faster than Bruno. How do you make of that? What do you make of that comment, guys? That means that we're going to be missing Kobbie and Bruno, which is expected against Newcastle anyway. It's a great opportunity for other players to come in and stake a claim, of course, guys. But obviously, how long are they going to be out for? You know what I mean? And that is very, very interesting. I think that's the most important question, of course. Amorim on if Bruno will return in time for the Manchester derby on the 17th of January. I don't want to say I have an idea, of course, but let's see. Of course, during this AFCON, guys, Man United have been blessed with some very difficult games. Of course, we had Aston Villa away. We got Newcastle at home. We got Manchester City at home. We got Arsenal away. Oh, well, there's nothing sinister about that, is it, at the end of the day? This is what they do for Man United. Man United, pound for pound, have the most difficult fixture list in the country at the end of the day. I would say that with chest, guys. With chest, I would say that. Guys, listen, right? At the end of January, we would have played Arsenal twice and Manchester City twice already. You know what I mean? And that just goes to show you how difficult our fixture list has been at the end of the day. Amorim went on to say, we have other players. We need to maybe see different ways of playing. I think Jack Fletcher did very good job. And that's why when we have these opportunities, we need to give space to the guys like Jack and the other ones. My guy, he doesn't play youngsters, does he? He doesn't play youngsters, does he? That's what all the notions said. The Pillocks have been saying. He doesn't play youngsters. There you go, guys. Already talking about Jack Fletcher. Great to hear. Good to see. Good to hear, of course, guys. Absolutely. And he's spot on. Amorim, we are still working with them, Maguire and De Ligt. They are not available for this one, but let's see for the next one. Yeah, look, we if anything about what's going on at Man United, if one of the biggest problems at Man United right now is defensively, and we lack experience in defense. Of course, we got Luke Shaw in there, but I just don't think Luke Shaw is a leader. Some people were saying that, make Luke Shaw captain. In what world are they living in? Goodness me, this guy can't even instruct Lenny Yoro about Rodgers and encourage Lenny Yoro about Rodgers. He's an experienced defender. When Lenny Yoro was struggling with Rodgers cutting on the right, what Luke Shaw should have said, he should have prepared Lenny Yoro for Rodgers cutting in on the right-hand side. But he didn't do it, did he? He didn't. He just kept passive and quiet. That's not a captain for me. Absolutely not. De Ligt has been one of the biggest problems for Man United because obviously we're missing him and he's been, at least now people are starting to see how good Matthias De Ligt is. At least they're starting to see what a player he is at the end of the day. Amorim said, it's impossible to replace Bruno, but I said that this morning to the team. We need to take the good thing. If there is a good thing, a lot of people would need to step up. We cannot rely on one guy for everything. Come on, guys. Yes, respect to Ruben Amorim. That's what we're talking about. You can't rely on one person. This is what we've been talking about. One player leaves the football pitch. Another player comes in. That's how we got to be. We are not Bruno FC. We are Manchester United FC. We need to find ways to win games at the end of the day. That's how we have to do things. And we have a squad. It's about time people stepped up. That is what I would say about that. Really impressed with Shea Lacey when he came on, by the way. Really, really impressed with Shea Lacey. Absolutely. And looking forward to seeing more of him. Amorim on Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey making their debuts. The behaviour they have shown during these weeks is really good. I don't have the feeling that I don't have the feeling that they think I'm a bit different because I played for Manchester United. I don't have the feeling that they think that I am a little bit different. So basically, their head is screwed on. They're not egotistical. And this is what we're talking about, the language barrier and stuff like that. So basically what Ruben Amorim was saying here is that they are very grounded. They ain't got, I'm playing for Man United, I've made it sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like certain players do at Man United. They're like, they've got their head screwed on and then they want to prove. And you know what? A player like Shea Lacey, a player like Jack Fletcher, Mantato as well, who was on the bench against Aston Villa, unfortunately didn't come on, is one of my favourite players. You know, they're going to improve and they're going to show themselves, you know, and I hope that they get more opportunities and hopefully they will see them against Newcastle on Friday. Of course, guys. Friday kickoff. I trust my players. I'm confident that we can win any game. Of course, we have some problems, but I believe in the team. Absolutely. Ultimately, we have to. What else can we do, guys? Can we throw in the towel? Do we throw in the towel, or do we believe and we can go on and we can win the game? Of course, we can, guys. Newcastle United are an incredibly strong team. We know all about Newcastle United. We know about their strength in regards to the midfield and, you know, Guimaraes and players of that ilk. They got Tonali as well, of course. They got a good team. We know that. But who dares wins at the end of the day? And that is what we have to say about it. Beef Bully, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're well. Sal, hear me out here. Mainoo is not injured. It's a little beef with Amorim, trust me. Beef Bully, can I just say something to you, my friend? Beef Bully, beef and beef. Who would have thought it? You know what I mean? No beef, no halal. Absolutely. Now, what I would say is that I've said it already, Beef Bully. It's not an injury. I've said it already. I don't want to be the one to say it because obviously you can use it against you. But I actually believe that, and the whole community, if you were here, Beef Bully, you would know that the community have already spoken about that days ago, mate. Before the Aston Villa game, we said it's not an injury. It's no coincidence there. And that's what we would say. And if you don't see Kobbie Mainoo against Newcastle, at least on the bench, then you know it's clarified, isn't it? It's clarified. If you don't even see him on the bench, and then you're going to have to say that at the end of the day, Beef Bully. But Beef Bully, good to have you back, mate. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back. But yeah, look, there is a problem there. I don't think Ruben Amorim has a problem with Kobbie Mainoo. I think Kobbie Mainoo has a problem with himself. I think Kobbie Mainoo needs to control his bitches, basically, which is his brother. That's what he needs to do. And basically control your bitches. Absolutely. And what he needs to do is come out and apologise to the Man United fans, the Man United Football Club and the manager in regards to that T-shirt and distance himself away from that T-shirt and clarify that he had nothing to do with it and he knew nothing of it. He hasn't done that. So at the end of the day, does he deserve to play for Manchester United? Absolutely not, guys. He doesn't deserve to play for Man United if he does stupid things like that. Of course, it's about the football club, guys. It's about the football club. It's about the team. It's not about individuals. And that is what I would say about it, guys. That's how I feel about it. And that's how I am about it. That's my stance on it, guys. And that's it. You know, obviously I'm old school. I come from an era that we didn't really do things like that, you know what I mean, in front of the manager and disrespect the manager and the fans and the football club. But these people think they've made it already. They think that he thinks he's prime Zinedine Zidane right now. He's a 20-year-old that needs to earn his way, you know, at the end of the day. And you can't be just expecting to play, regardless of what you think of the manager. When you get onto that pitch, you make something happen. You have to make something happen. That's what you do. When you get on that pitch, make something happen. Change the narrative. Make something happen. Create something, score a goal, make an assist, a crunching tackle, clearance off the line, anything, guys. Make something happen. Give the manager a reason to pick you. Help the manager help you. Help the manager help you. As Jerry Maguire, isn't it Jerry Maguire, what he said on there? Help me to help you. Help me to help you. And that is what Kobbie Mainoo needs to do. At the moment, he hasn't filled himself with glory. You know, at the moment, he hasn't come out and said, listen, I had nothing to do with that T-shirt situation. That was him. I didn't know about it. I apologize to Man United fans if it's caused offense. I apologize to the football club and I apologize to the manager. And then we move on. And that's what it is out there. They say, oh, it's just a stupid the brother's just an idiot. And that's what we say. We move on from it at the end of the day. But no, And I think the radio silence is incredibly telling, and it's incredibly informative, to be honest with you. And when I'm thinking about that, But guys, look, this is just a representation of what is going on at Man United at the moment. The problems surrounding Man United are just so many. And I miss the days when we just had to deal with football, when we just had to talk about football. We just talk about the football team, the results, the manager. And that's about it. We didn't really do anything. We talk about players and stuff like that. Now we're talking about all this nonsense that goes on, that shouldn't even be a thing, but is a thing. And it becomes a talking point for weeks and weeks and weeks, of course, guys. And it is disappointing the way this football club is going. Anyone who defends Kobbie Mainoo, I would question your allegiance to Manchester United. I would. Anyone who defends his brother, I would question your allegiance to Manchester United. Because regardless of what you think, whether he should be playing more or not playing more, there's always an element of professionalism. When I go back and I think about Manchester United and I think about Nicky Butt and I think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think about David May, Henning Berg, Wesley Brown, all these great players that play for Man United some people can class them as legends, Lee Sharp, all these great, Teddy Sheringham, all these great players that play for Man United had to wait, had to be on the bench. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would score 4 goals, guys. And then the next game, he's on the bench. You know what I mean? What we're talking about. He became a Man United legend, didn't he? He became a Man United legend. Football's a squad game. You will get your opportunity. And the ironic thing is now, with the injury to Bruno Fernandes, he would have had his opportunity. But I'm going to take it like, okay, he's injured. I'm going to trust Ruben Amorim. People can say, well, I'm going to trust Ruben Amorim. I'm going to say, okay, Ruben, he's injured. All right. I'm going to take your word for it. It's a bit of a coincidence. It's a bit convenient, but I'm going to take his word for it. But if he's not in the game, if he's not on the bench against Newcastle or Wolverhampton Wanderers, then we're going to have to ask the question, look, you know what? It's quite obvious that, is no injury there and he's not playing now. But would I blame Ruben Amorim for not playing him? No. Because at the end of the day, it's a sign of gross misconduct, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's a sign of disrespect to the manager, to the football club, to the fans. And that's exactly what it was. We can't paint it any other way, at the end of the day, guys. But look, I would like to move on from it. I would like to move on. We all human beings at the end of the day and always bringing a human element to it. We make stupid mistakes. And that is life at the end of the day, guys. And to be honest with you, I wish him a very Merry Christmas and I hope he has a Happy New Year and I hope he has a very prosperous time with his family. And that's all I care about, at the end of the day. But because at the end of the day, the toxicity isn't doing well for Man United. And I think that what we need to do is just concentrate and get that Newcastle game, which is an extremely difficult game, as we know, guys, is winning that Newcastle United game. And that's what we need to try and do. Obviously, we're going to have to combat the very, very good football team in Newcastle United. If you saw them against Chelsea, they were very good. Of course, they did capitulate a little bit, if I'm being honest with you, at St James's Park. A little bit surprising. But Newcastle do have a lot of injuries, in particular in the fullback positions. And Man United could quite possibly exploit those areas of the pitch because they are missing a couple of wing backs. I know that Livramento is out for them. I don't know if he's going to be back against Man United on Friday. I don't know. I know that there's a couple of players out for Newcastle United, so we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully they're not back for that game. Hopefully they're not, and hopefully Man United beat them finally. We owe Newcastle one. We owe a defeat to Newcastle. We definitely do, guys. I really would say that at the end of the day. But again, Man United have a very difficult fixture list. Especially in this AFCON. I think we have the hardest, isn't it, guys? We really do. And it is annoying and it is frustrating. But you know what? Mountains are there to be climbed, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer once said, didn't he? Mountains are there to be climbed, guys. And we just have to carry on and we just have to keep plugging away. And hopefully, Man United beat Newcastle and beat Wolves. You know what I mean? That would be great. The Wolves, obviously, the Newcastle game's a tough one, apparently. But obviously, we can't underestimate Wolves. We only played Wolves a couple of weeks ago, by the way. That's another little old chestnut. Teams shouldn't be playing teams so close to each other, And of course, let's not forget, we've got Brighton and Hove Albion coming up very soon, guys, as well. We've got Brighton and Hove Albion coming up thick and fast. In the FA Cup, no rest for the wicked. We don't have an easy team in the FA Cup. We have a hard team in the FA Cup. I'm very excited about the Brighton game because obviously JJ Gabriel is legible to play in the Brighton game. He's not eligible to play in the Premier League at the moment, but he's legible to play in the Brighton game. So I'm really looking forward to seeing JJ Gabriel against Brighton and Hove Albion in the FA Cup. Now, it'd be great if Man United could have a little FA Cup run. It would be great because obviously we're not in the League Cup, and we can rotate this squad and we can check other new players, young players, and stuff like that. Hopefully, we don't have a tough draw. So far we got a tough draw, and of course, a couple of months ago we defeated Brighton and Hove Albion 4 goals to 2. Was a very, very good performance, one of our best performances, if not the best performance of the season. And to be honest with you, hopefully after that Brighton game, we can go on and we can play Shrewsbury Town or Luton Town or someone like that, for goodness sake, at Old Trafford. That would be a lot better. Then again, you never know with these teams, do you? Because at the end of the day, they raise their game when they play Man United, don't they? And you have to be very respectful towards these teams and stuff like that, which we are. We are, guys. We're very respectful towards these teams. Of course we are, guys. Absolutely. Now, what I want the fan base to unite. I want the fan base to be as one, and I want us to have a common goal. What is the common goal? The common goal is to challenge, is to get up that league and win football matches. That should be the common goal for every single Manchester United fan out there. Unfortunately, we have a circle of fans that's not the common goal for them. The goal is to get clicks and likes and to be right. And this is something that I've been talking about, preaching for ages and ages now, about what Man United need to do, how Man United fan base, they need to unite, and how we need to have a common goal, and how we need to hope that Man United win football matches. Sadly, there's people out there that don't want Man United to win football matches, and this is why I always bring it into the show. And I hope that on Friday we win the game and there's no toxicity. I'm tired of the toxicity, guys. I'll be honest with you guys. I am so tired of the noise that is surrounding Man United at the moment. I really am, guys. I really am. And hopefully it stops. Hopefully we beat Newcastle and we can have a week off. You know what I mean? A week off. It'd be nice for New Year. Wouldn't that be nice? Although we're playing Wolverhampton Wanderers just before New Year, of course, guys. So it is an interesting one. It really is. And hopefully everyone will be behind Man United on Friday. And that's all I would say about that. Of course, guys. Absolutely. But guys, we got a few days to the transfer window. The transfer window is upon us. And what does this transfer window represent? It gives us an idea what Ineos want, right? Are they concentrating on Man United? Do they care about what happens on the pitch? Are they backing Ruben Amorim to the point they have to spend money to back him? And that, I think, is the most important question here. That is what we have to look at, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Guys, remember to smash a like on the video. If you haven't done that, what are you doing, guys? Don't forget to smash a like on the video. Don't forget to show some love to Salzy, baby. What's going on, guys? It is Christmas Eve. Smash some lights for Christmas Eve, guys. Come on. Let's get this on. Let's get this going, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you're having a good time. Listen, guys, it's all about enjoyment. It's all about having a good time with a loved one tomorrow. Don't worry too much about Man United. Man United will be enjoying themselves too. Don't worry about that, guys. Absolutely. So what we do is that we get this Christmas period over. We concentrate on Friday. I will be doing my match preview tomorrow, guys. Hopefully, fingers crossed, at Christmas Day, I'll be doing a match preview for you. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be doing that, of course. Man like Jengas, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. That's what we'll be doing tomorrow. So, guys, what I would say is that I think Man United are a drama. I think we're addicted to drama. It's almost like we are addicted to drama. I think Man United have a problem where drama follows us, chaos follows us. You know, like those music videos where the man is walking in slow motion and behind them there's chaos and there's blowing up and there's fire, like movies and things like that. I think that's what Man United are. I think Man United are an absolute disaster movie, you know, and I think you can make a Netflix series about it. Every single week there's something different. And the funny thing is, last week I said there's going to be something different this week. And obviously this week is the Semenya situation and stuff like that. And obviously like the week before that was the Kobbie Mainoo situation and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And it just goes on and on and on. It is exhausting, can I be honest? It is exhausting. I love being positive about this football club. I always have been positive about this football club. And I will always try to be positive about this football club, you know, at the end of the day. But whilst there's so much negativity going around the football club, obviously, I'm going to be bringing up the idiots and bringing up the clowns who are just trying to make it worse for this football club. And that's what I would say. You know, at the end of the day, the Man United job, in my opinion, it used to be the England job. I actually think now the Man United job is the impossible job. You know, I remember them saying the England job was the impossible job. I actually feel like the Man United job now is the impossible job. I think it's very, very hard to manage Manchester United these days. I'll be honest with you guys. I would love to do it. I think most of us would love to do it. But I think Ruben Amorim thought that as well. You know what I mean? He probably thought when he came in, oh, this is a lovely job. This is going to be a great job. You know, Man United, managing Man United, etc., etc., etc. He probably thought, great, I'm managing the biggest club in the world. And then he saw what's going on behind the scenes and he thought, my goodness me, what have I done? What is this? Can I go back to Sporting? You know, at the end of the day. But guys, look, you know what I would say? Like, we have to hope. Newcastle's a tough game. I mean, imagine playing Aston Villa away and then Newcastle. It's crazy at the end of the day, isn't it, guys? It's a tough schedule we got. And then obviously we got Man City coming up in the 17th, Arsenal coming up on the 24th as well. No rest for the wicked, guys, is there? But this is where greatness is made. This is where you make a name for yourself. And this is where you prove your doubters wrong, isn't it? By winning these type of games. You know, let's make Old Trafford an absolute fortress on Friday. Let's make it an absolute fortress. It's not about playing Newcastle as well. It's about the timing. Playing Newcastle on a Friday night, you know, goodness me. A day after Christmas, they better not have munched down too much turkey, guys. They better not have munched down too much of that turkey because I'm telling you right now, they're going to be running slower than they're already slow. You know what I mean? Goodness me. Don't munch down too much turkey. This is what I'm talking about. If Man United played on Sunday, 4 o'clock kickoff, lovely jubbly, all blessed. Man United on a Friday night, guys. Bloody hell. You know, they are really stitching us up, this league. They are really stitching us up. I'll be honest, guys. I can't say anything more than that, but they are stitching us up, to be fair. But we can't have any excuses and we have to get on with it. Of course we do. And no one will let us have any excuses anyway. You know, the rival fans who don't want us to win, they won't let us have any excuses. Oh, but this, oh, but that, oh, but this, oh, but that. But just to reiterate, guys, in regards to some transfer news around Man United and the Rashford swap deal with Bradley Barcola. Bradley Barcola to Manchester United, a swap deal with Marcus Rashford. Barcelona are looking at cancelling the obligation to buy with Manchester United and sending Marcus Rashford back to Manchester United, guys. Now, Bradley Barcola could represent a swap deal with PSV with a cash fee. He is a 23-year-old, 18 caps for France, 3 goals, guys. Currently playing for PSG, a product of Lyon, of course, guys. Carlos Baleba and his price tag. Carlos Baleba's price could lower to around 50 million euros. Brighton and Hove Albion are deemed desperate to sell Carlos Baleba to Manchester United. Manchester United have been alerted about this, and a move could be made in January, although it's not guaranteed, as Man United are still very, very wary about his performances on the pitch, and some say professionalism in regards to the way he's been performing when his head has been turned with Manchester United. And they could wait until the summer to do that deal. But Brighton and Hove Albion do want to cash in on Carlos Baleba. Another one as well, just to reiterate, another one to clarify, Alex Scott, a 22-year-old Bournemouth player, 30 million to Manchester United, centre midfield, right midfield and attacking midfield. Very versatile, England international, Bristol City Youth Academy product. Of course, guys, would only cost Manchester United around 30 million euros. And finally, Lorenzo Lucca, the Napoli player on loan from Udinese, a 25-year-old striker playing in Serie A. Could be a free transfer in the summer. And Man United are looking at him in January, though, at a discount price, of course, guys. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in regards to that. That one is a little bit of a new one. Lorenzo Lucca, of course, Man United are looking at bolstering their squad, especially the striking position, where we only have Benjamin Sesko, guys, of course. And that is the problem with it. You know, one gets injured, we're screwed at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely screwed. Kerfuffled. How you ever want to say it, guys. How you ever want to say it. But, guys, my task for you is to find a player called Santa. I want you to find a player called Santa, and I want him to have a release clause, right? So I want this Santa to have a release clause, right? So I can put on my thumbnail, Santa Claus. There you go. That's what I want to do. I don't think we're going to find a Santa. I don't think there's any Santas in there. There's any Brazilian player called Santa. We might get Santos. There's one place for Chelsea. I don't think there's a release clause in it, though. Are we going to get Santa? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, guys. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Absolutely. We have to wait and see. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, look, before I leave, can I ask a favor? There's many people coming this stream who don't smash a like. Please, could I ask you, it's very important to the channel, that you smash a like. You share the video, you pass it on to your mates. You heard about Stretford Post. You clip the video, you post it on your YouTube channels. Guys, I will give it recognition. I will give it I will give it, a cosign and everything like that. Don't worry about that. And also, guys, subscribe if you're new. If you're new here, you absolute diamonds, please subscribe to the channel. That would be absolutely fantastic if you guys can do that. It's imperative that we build the subscribers up. We're doing it organically, guys. We're doing it organically, unlike some, by the way. So, guys, just please don't forget to smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and lastly, finally, don't forget to put your notifications on, because when I go live, I could go live on anyone's channel, guys, and you would know about it. I will write a little message on my YouTube. I'm going to be live on blah, blah, blah channel at that blah, blah, blah time. Please join me for that, guys. But, guys, I will be doing streams tomorrow. It is Christmas Day, but I am going to keep you company for Christmas. And, guys, listen, listen. I know we all need company. And, listen, reach out to people. What I would say to you guys, if there's anyone, guys, reach out to them. If they're lonely or anything like that, if you know anyone, guys, mental health is very important. Reach out to them and talk to them at the end of the day. I am always here to talk to, guys. Just remember that my DMs are always open on Twitter, guys. I would say that, okay? Now, guys, if you have anything to say, let me know. And I wish you, every single one of you, a great Christmas Eve and a fantastic Christmas, of course, guys. That's what I would do. Guys. Derek. MMA fighter build a team of friends. This guy don't care about our health. Derek, I don't know who you mean by this guy. I don't know who you mean. Merry Christmas, Nikki. Hope you're doing well. Who are you talking about, Derek? I know I'll get in there. Big up anyone, everywhere. Anyway, MMA fighter build a team of friends. Where do I fit surfing in? This guy don't care about surfing. Where do I fit surfing in? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Don't understand. Derek, can you reiterate that? Can you rewrite that for me? Can you just start again? Because there's probably a compelling message here that I don't even know. I can't even understand it. Maybe it's me being a dum-dum, but you know what I mean? I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to smash a like again, please, guys. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I am indeed Sal Warner, last time I checked. And this is Chatterbox. Have a great Christmas Eve. I'm not going to eat a lot of cake. I'm going to try and stay away from the cake. You know what I mean? No cake for me, guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Big up, Bobby. Take it easy, my bro. Take it easy, guys. Not many talking today. Best happy and sad moods. I still don't get that, mate. I really don't. And guys, MMA fighter builder. I used to be a kickboxer for 8 years. I know about MMA, Derek. I was a semi-pro, mate. So there you go. Guys, thank you, everyone. And this is the most positive channel ever, by the way. Guys, we just call things as they are. You know what I mean? Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I appreciate you all. Don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow morning for Breaking Dawn. Don't forget to join me for that. And don't forget to smash a like, guys. Very important. Oh, you're in Italy now. Beef Bully. I am indeed in Napoli, mate. I'm indeed in Napoli. The time is 4:58. 4:58. That is it. Guys, absolutely. I have no clue what you're talking about, Derek. You're on the next one, bruv. Derek's buzzing. Derek, you've been too much on the wine already, mate. You're too much on the wine already. What's going on, Derek? Come on, Derek. You're going off on one, mate. What's going on, Derek, man? Come on, calm down, mate. It's only Christmas Eve. Absolutely mad thing at the end of the day, guys. Is that off his nut, mate? Absolutely off his nut. You know what I mean? I don't know, mate. Is that one too many, mate? Mate, it's early days, mate. Pace yourself. I kickboxed in Bethnal Green for 8 years, mate. Yeah, 8 years. Bill Judd was my coach, my trainer. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do that, mate. Yeah, when I was young, 16 to 24. Not really Fabio Jackson movie. All right, let me just see what's going through Derek's mind at the moment. Let me write Fabio Jackson movie. I'm only doing it for you, Derek. Only for you, Derek. No one else. Feel special. Fabio Jackson is a guy who impersonates Michael Jackson. You got me baffed, mate. Xmas, there is always weird results. Watch this. Big up, guys. But guys, take it easy. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Guys, absolutely madness. Take it easy, guys. Glory, glory, Man United. We move on, guys. And Merry Christmas. If I don't speak to you, have a very, very happy, prosperous Christmas. And season's greetings, guys. Take it easy. And have a jolly time. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. Take it easy, guys. Peace.